Hey, what's up, you guys? I want to welcome you to another episode of the DaddyhoggTV Podcast, where we look to inspire and motivate you guys with talking with real life people, man, letting them share their stories. Today, got an interesting guest. Uh, One of my relatives, family members, Dana. She lived a very interesting life, childhood, on to where she is now as an adult. So, without further ado, for those who don't know Dana, tell us about yourself.
Hey y'all, what's going on? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dana Smallwood, aka Pretty Girl Nicki Minaj, the Immaculate Hair Collection from Prescott, Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
I live here in North Little Rock. I've been here ever since '09, and I am 40 years old.
Mhm.
So and I have two beautiful children, a 20-year-old Zadrian, aka Taterbug, and Zoe, Princess Zoe. She's 17, getting ready to graduate this year.
So on especially on social media, I know a lot of us always see you doing your thing with your hair collection, the immaculate hair collection. Um, I want to ask, as far as childhood wise, um, what where did it all start with you, as far as a childhood? What was life like for Dana as a child?
For Dana Smallwood as a child, I would say by the time, like from 8 on down, far as I can remember, I had a good childhood.
Mhm.
We had our problems like everyone else did, but we were, all my sisters and brothers and my father and my mother, we were in the same house together, and we were just brought up in love. We loved one another.
Mhm.
Um, I can say my childhood really hit a rocky bump maybe in 1989. A lot of people know my father, he got incarcerated for murder.
Mhm.
Someone was coming to take his family's life, and he defended his family, and he got incarcerated for murder, which left my mother at home raising six children alone by herself.
Right.
In the process of mama raising us, she really don't like for me to really speak on it, but I have to speak on the truth. We went through a lot. I think being an adult now, I get she was 13 when she had her first baby.
Right.
16 when she had me. So all she knew was my daddy and my dad's support system. So that was like a whole new world for her to
Right.
start raising kids by herself. My mother got sprung out on drugs, and when my mom got sprung out on drugs, our life just took a turn for the worse. In the process of her being sprung out on drugs, we where we were living, we went without lights, we went without water, we went without gas.
Mhm.
For numerous of days at a time, we went without food. Um, I've seen so much as a kid, like I wrote about it, so I'm not gonna just talk on everything because
Right.
I try to like, in a way, I try to protect. We went through this, I did a testimonial
Right.
on Facebook
Right.
about some things that happened, and mama just, she got upset. She didn't like the fact that I did it, but like I told her, this should be a testimonial for you that you're not
Right.
on drugs and that you
Right.
got kids that went through this,
Right.
and that
It's
they're not
it's empowering.
statistics. You know
Right.
what I'm
It's
saying?
empowering. Yeah.
You could
Things
be
overcome.
a living testimonial to somebody else.
Right. Right.
But in the process of my mom being on drugs and us, of course, living without lights, water, and gas and food, I lost my virginity when I was 9 years old.
Mhm.
Um, when I was nine, my stepdad took my virginity, and we had a sexual relationship for 3 years.
Mhm.
In the process of that, going through that with my grandfather, my mom takes us to Rockford, Illinois. We go down there in Rockford, Illinois, and my mother, she really don't remember this, but she was so high off drugs.
Mhm.
Her boyfriend at that time was telling her that she would make a lot of money if she would sold me and my sister. So I'm the oldest, y'all. So I'm the protector.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing what's going on, and I go in there and I drink a thing of bleach, and they call the ambulance. So me doing that to myself kind of stopped, I guess, what was going to happen. He had a plan to do something to us,
Mhm.
but the plan didn't go into motion.
Right.
And that was like the third time that I tried to commit suicide. I used to try to commit suicide all the time because every time I tried to commit suicide, it seemed like it straightened my mother up. And that's what, you kids and my sisters and brothers, they looking at me like I'm the hero.
Right.
One time my mom was, we didn't have any food or anything, and my mom was in the bedroom,
Mm-hmm.
and it was some men, in the hallway, and my sister and brother was like, Dana, we need to get something to eat. We need to get us something to eat. And I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go out here and kill myself.
Right.
So I ran outside. Before I ran outside, I pushed myself through the men,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I was banging on the door, and I opened up the door, and I said, Mama, I said, we hungry. And she slammed the door in my face or whatever, and the men told me, you need to get your little ass. I'm sorry, y'all, but
Yeah.
you need to get your little ass to the back of the line. You get to talk to your mama after we do what we gonna do.
Right.
So I ran outside and I jumped in front of a car. When I tell y'all that car was speeding, but when that car got to me, it was a white lady. God rest her soul. She barely hit me. Like she bumped me and I hit the hood and I rolled off.
Mm-hmm.
And that process of me rolling off, my mother came outside and the lady asked me, she said, why are you doing that? And I said, I'm just trying to make my mama stop so she can feed us. We hungry.
Yeah.
We ain't ate. And I'm just trying to make my mama stop. And my mama ran outside. She was naked. And she was like, Dana, what you doing? I said, I'm trying to kill myself because I want you to straighten up. And let me tell y'all this. When people know they did things, sometimes reality is hard to face.
Right.
So when she see this, she gonna be like, that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But being on drugs, let me tell you this, I'm not even mad at her about it no more. I
Right.
love her and I forgive her.
Right. Right.
I get it, being a parent, being 40 years old, I love her and I forgive her. But some things have to be told so
Right.
it can help save somebody else from going through that.
Right. Right.
So she came outside and we got to go with my grandmother, which I was getting sexually abused with my grandmother. But to me, the sexual abuse was not as bad because I was with my sisters and brothers. We had lights, we had hot water, we had running gas, we had food, and we was all together,
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, I guess made like a sacrifice. I was like, you know what, if he want to do this to me, I'm 9 years old, I'm very intelligent, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if this is what's gonna keep us together and not have to go through that, then I guess I'll just go through this,
Yeah.
as long as ain't nobody touching my other sisters and brothers or nothing like that, I just go through that. I just want us together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I went through that. My father, he got out. My grandmother, Curtistine Mitchell and Idella Hayes, God rest both of their souls. They raised us. They took times. My grandma Curtistine, she had us Monday through Friday, and when we got out of school, we went to my grandma Ideal,
Mm-hmm.
and then my grandma Curtistine would get us on Sunday. So we were Jehovah's Witnesses then. So we went to church with my grandma Curtistine. She taught us about the Bible. She taught us about keeping our faith.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. She taught us about being strong, and it was a hard life when my daddy went to jail. When my dad got out of jail, we went to Dallas, and I met a guy, and I really liked this guy, and excuse me, y'all, and he was telling me,
That's so
he was
fine.
like,
Take your time.
he was telling me, hey, Dana, if you want to be with me, you got to do what you got to do or whatever. He an older guy. He sleek, good looking, y'all.
Yeah.
So y'all know I was fast. I ain't gonna lie. I went to Walmart. I stole me a panties and a bra set.
Mm-hmm.
14, I shaved. I went up there the next morning and I'm like, I'm going to make love because you got to understand, like for 3 years, somebody has been taking advantage of me and doing what they want to do to me, to my body, from 9 to 11, making me perform. When I got somebody that I felt like really liked me, I feel like in a way that was my duty to give myself to this guy. Right. So when I got up there to Corbin, I was undressing myself, and I noticed he was standing on the wall, and he didn't budge. And so something just came over me. Something was like, "Girl, you better put your clothes on and get out of here." So in the process, in going through that, I started putting my clothes on. After I got halfway almost fully dressed, that's when some guys came out the closet, and they was like, "What you came up here for? You gonna have to do everybody." So I got raped. He had a 9 millimeter, and I had to have sex with everybody in the room. After he got through with me, first of all, it was like the longest, I guess, maybe 15 minutes of my life, because it's somebody treating you like you an animal, and they got a gun to your head, and they hitting you upside the head with a gun and telling you to act like you like it, and if you don't act like you like it, they gonna blow your brains out. Right. So when he got through, he was like, "Bitch, get up, go into the bathroom and clean yourself up." So I thought that was over with. I was like, "Oh God, that's over." Yeah. So I'm sitting in the bathroom on the toilet, and here comes somebody else from behind the shower curtain. So I had to do that all over again. When he got through with me, he went in the room where Corbin was. Now keep in mind, I went up there to have sex with Corbin. That was my boyfriend. Him and Tip were first cousins, but I didn't have sex with him. Corbin didn't have sex with me. He let them rape me, you know. They was in the room, and they was like, and I guess maybe he didn't want to, so y'all was just shaking. I was like, "Oh God, they finna kill me." And I just like froze, like I couldn't even move. I was butt naked, I was bleeding, and had stuff running all out of me, and I was like, "Wow, what's going on?" And so like something came over me, and God was like, "If you want to live, something just told me to run." Right. I opened up the door, and I just took off running. I opened up the door to the apartment, and I was running down the stairs, and all I could hear them say, "Well, get that bitch." And I ran all the way down the stairs into my apartment, and I just shut the door, and I just started crying. And I honestly believe that Corbin had not, I think, had the door unlocked, I don't know how they would have played out, because I was nervous. Even though I gathered up my strength to run, I was nervous. So I honestly think Corbin knew what was going on when he let me in, and I honestly think that he left the door unlocked, I guess his way, in a way like, "Lord, I hope, maybe she can get out," or whatever. Because he knew that they was going to rape me, because why would they be in the closet and stuff, and then hiding and stuff out in the bathroom? Right. So God blessed me out of that, y'all. So, going through that, I just didn't love myself no more. To some people, I appeared like I loved myself, but I didn't. I thought I was ugly, because when my grandfather was having sex with me, I used to ask him, like, "Why you do that to me?" He's like, "You just a pretty black girl. You got pretty hair. You just a pretty girl." So I just was like, "Ooh, well, why is all this happening? I'm so young. My daddy done been incarcerated. My mama on drugs. Like, why is this happening?" All I want to do is sing, do hair, because I love to entertain, and take care of people. That's just my nature. That's why I'm caught up between, the health industry and the beauty industry, and that's all I wanted to do.
And not to cut you off, but we definitely appreciate you sharing your testimony of your childhood with us. Oftentimes, different guests we have on, I always listen to the story, and it always seems to be a common trend of people going through certain things, the adversity, and being able to overcome those, to where they then are able to capture their goals and focus in on their goals. So for you, like, was it always about the hair and the fashion that was one of your dreams to be able to do?
Well, that's why I was telling you, when I was young, I like this singing. I like the entertain anything entertainment, and then I had a passion for taking care of people,
Yeah.
As well. So it has always been about that for me. But when those things happened to me, I kind of got out the scene.
Right.
I'm a barber stylist. I don't do hair, but I'm a barber stylist as well. I got my barbering from 65th Washington. Shout out to Arlo Washington on 65th, and Miss Ann Crow. She did, may she rest in peace. Off of baseline, but I started school in Arkadelphia. He's dead. So, and rest in peace to him too as well. But it was always about that. But I had to, when all that stuff happened to me, I had to find myself again. I had to find where I wanted to be in, and like what was my reasons for living, and what was my place on this earth.
Right.
Because I ain't gonna like, you going through all that stuff, you young, you like, God, why is this happening to me? They say you don't question God. I'm young, I didn't know that. I'm like, why is all this stuff happening to me? Why am I going through so much? I'm just a kid. And the stuff that I done went through in life, some people they couldn't take it. Like coming from trying to kill myself, from being molested, from being raped, this all that stuff, it just. But I will tell you this: if God see you to it, He will see you through it.
Right. Correct.
And He's seeing me through it.
Most definitely. So to be able to be in the situations you are now with the Immaculate Collection, the brand, what's some of the things that you look for now or look to now for the inspiration and motivation to keep you pushing, to keep the brand growing?
Well, what I do to keep my brand growing is I look at all the adversities and all the stuff that has happened to me like I should be a statistic. So I stay humble. My thing is I always stay humble, and I always treat people, even if you don't buy hair from me and you acquire by hair, I treat you and make you feel like you done brought some clothes from Princess Zoe, or you done brought some lingerie from me, or you done brought some hair from me. I just always stay humble, and I just basically treat people how I want to be treated.
Right, most definitely. So far as if I'm somebody that's looking to get some The Immaculate products, how do I reach you? You got any social media handles, anything like that?
Yes, you can contact me through Facebook. I have a hair page called Dana Smallwood, DIHC. My normal Facebook page is Dana Smallwood, Dana Latrice, Pretty Girl Smallwood. So y'all go follow both pages. I'm on Instagram, The Immaculate Hair Collection, and I also have a YouTube channel. It's Dana Smallwood. And you can also reach me via phone, 501-744-9589. And Princess Zoe has her clothes as well. So you can contact us, get some of her clothes the same way I just told you. And thank y'all for it.
Most definitely, most definitely. Well, Dana, it's been a pleasure. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us and share your story. I hope you all find inspiration in it, man. What you just witnessed, like she said, it's something that not everybody, go through on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes we live our own lives and think that we might have it, that much harder than somebody else, when in all actuality, at some point, it's somebody that's going through something worse than all of us. So the meaning, like I say, behind this podcast is to try to share stories with real life people, man, to try to help somebody overcome their situation, to where you don't give up, to where you stay motivated.
I want to say this. This is to everybody, boy and girl. In life, things are going to happen to us. I feel like don't let your past determine your future. If you go through a hard, rough past, it does not determine your future or what you're going to be today. God gives His hardest test to the strongest people. So I just want to encourage somebody today. Look at me. I cry because it's a blessing. I shouldn't be here today. I should be dead. I should be done lost my mind. But look at me. I have my hair business, my daughter's business. I have a lingerie business, and we are sitting right now in my school. It's called Immaculate Healthcare Professionals. I haven't really just went live or just brought it out there, but I just want to tell somebody, you can do it, and a lot of people don't be like, how she got a healthcare school and she just a CNA and an activity director, because what God got for you, it is for you. And I just want to tell people, Don't. Suicide is the last resort. I thank God that did none of my attempts work. Talk to somebody. It's somebody willing to listen. Y'all don't know my whole story. It's more to what I said, but I hope what I did say to you bring you closer to God, bring you closer to being a better person for yourself. Because you got to love yourself first. If you don't love you, you can't love anybody else. And please, 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 again, don't let your past determine your future. God got a plan for all of us, and my plan is not your plan. Everybody can't run businesses. I get it. But it's something that you can do, and whatever you can do, be the best at what you do.
Most definitely.
And love y'all, and God bless y'all.
Most definitely. Dana, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you,
I
baby.
appreciate it. Most definitely. All right, y'all. We are out.